Hello everybody, my name is Brandon. Welcome back to Cinefessions, where we talk all things media. So I'm back today with the 12th episode of my thrift store haul series, and today, just like in episode 11, we are going to be talking about both books and movies. So I'll start off with the books, which this time around I'm going to be looking at some comic books or comic related things, and then some young adult books. And so that's kind of what the genres or types, I guess, the audience of the books will be. And then on the movie side of things, it's going to be just like last time, just a completely random stack of movies, no rhyme or reason to them. I will mention these are all movies, not TV series, and they are all DVDs, no Blu-rays this time around. So just like last time, I will try to put some timestamps down below because I know that some of you only care about the books, some of you only care about the movies. Hopefully, like I said before, the majority of you are interested in both. But if not, hopefully you'll be able to figure out which section you want to watch by using those timestamps. So definitely look for those. But if you guys do enjoy this video series, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out. But with that said, let's not waste any more time at all. Let's dive right into the 12th episode of my thrift store haul series. Starting off with the books, this first one here is actually my most recent find. I found this just this past weekend, and I was really excited to find it. This is a Fear Street book from R.L. Stine. This one is Halloween Party. So this one sounds really cool. It's one that I've heard really good things about in the past, but I never owned it and never read it, so happy to find this one. This is basically about these teenagers who get invited to this Halloween party kind of mysteriously, and of course they get there and it turns out there is a killer amongst them. And so should be a lot of fun. Again, I think it was Cameron Chaney talking about how this was one of his favorite from the Fear Street books. There's so many that are similarly titled, so I might be wrong, but for some reason I think it was this one. But either way, happy to find this one and add it to the collection. So the first book I found most recently is Halloween Party by R.L. Stine from the Fear Street series. Next up is from another point horror author. This is from Carolyn B. Cooney. We have Driver's Ed. And this one is from 1994. And honestly, reading the back of the book, I can't really tell you what this one's about. It, of course, is going to be about these kids, going through Driver's Ed. And I'm sure something horrific or thrillery is going to happen because it is a young adult horror book or young adult thriller. So Carolyn B. Cooney is an excellent author, does the Face on the Milk Carton book series. So I'm expecting good things from this because she is, very well known. So Driver's Ed from 1994, written by Carolyn B. Cooney. I had to grab this book. I've actually seen it a couple times at this thrift store and I've always passed it up, but I figured, you know what? Let's just grab it because it's ridiculous. Why not have it in the collection? This is The O.C. and this one is The Way Back. I don't remember which book this is, but it of course is based on the old TV show, The O.C., which came out when I was in high school and I was a big fan of when I was in high school. It was just like appointment viewing, right? My whole family liked this show, and so it was just a lot of fun. I always loved the opening theme song. I thought it was just fantastic. And so this is one I figured, you know what? Add it to the collection because it's kind of an oddity, and it's based on a show that you used to really enjoy. Now, going back to it, I probably wouldn't enjoy it nearly as much now, but hey, whatever, it is what it is, So I figured, let's add the book. Why not? It's a pretty interesting find. So, The O.C., The Way Back, and this is written by Corey Martin, it says there. So, pretty cool find for the collection. Here's another completely random one. I will blame this also on Cameron's, one of his, either his book tours or one of his book hauls. He was talking about the Sweet Valley books, and this is actually Sweet Valley University. This one is book number 10 called No Means No. So again, it was silly. I'm paying 50 cents a book. Why not? I don't know if I'll ever actually get to this one, but I thought it was pretty interesting find. I've never seen a Sweet Valley University book before, so I grabbed it. So these are, Francine Pascal is the, who created the series, but this one is written by Lori John. So yeah, book number 10 in the Sweet Valley University book. For whatever reason, it's now in my collection. No Means No. This next one is actually based on a video game series that I've never played before, and I've only seen like maybe 5 minutes of a gameplay video of this in the past. But this is Five Nights at Freddy's: The Twisted Ones, and this is written by Scott Cawthon and Kira Breed Risley. I probably butchered that, and I apologize. But anyway, this is it's a horror video game, but I don't really know what you do in it. Only thing I saw was like you're kind of in a first-person view, and these creepy little teddy bears show up and you have to kind of look at them before they get to you. I don't know. That could be completely wrong. That's what I remember from like the 5-minute stream I watched of one of these a couple years ago now. But I know this is a hugely popular series and there are a bunch of books out here. I have no idea what book number this is. I doubt it's the first one just because that would be too lucky, but I haven't looked it up. Oh, actually it says right here, the sequel to the #1 New York Times bestseller. So maybe this is book number 2 in the 5-night series, which is okay. Maybe I can find the first one eventually. So yeah, if you guys know anything about this series, about the video game franchise, let me know down below because I would love to learn more. But I thought it was a cool find, from the thrift store. So why not add it to the collection and eventually I can get around to it. So Five Nights at Freddy, The Twisted Ones, written by Scott Cawthon and Kira Breed Risley. Next up is a YA book that I've heard pretty good things about. It is a horror book. This is Survive the Night, written by Danielle Vega, and I think she's best known for work on the Merciless series. That's how I'd heard of her in the past, but I have heard of this one. Basically, Survive the Night is like an underground rave, I guess, in the subway system, I think it said. And there ends up being a dead body that they find, and then things kind of escalate from there. It sounds really interesting. I'm all about it, so I'm very excited that I was able to find this one for so cheap. So, Survive the Night, written by Danielle Vega. Over to the comic book side of things here. So this first one, I actually fooled myself because it's a different cover than the one I own, but it turns out I actually already own this one. But this is R.L. Stine's Just Beyond, and this is The Scare School. So this is the first one from the Just Beyond comic series. You can see some of the art style in here. So I actually received this one for Christmas, I think it was, or my birthday from my buddy. I read it. I didn't love it. It was okay, but I don't know. I just didn't like it as much as I was hoping I would. But when I saw this, I thought it was the second one, so I got really excited. Turns out it's just the Barnes and Noble exclusive cover here. So it's the same one I already own, but I will keep this one and get rid of the other one just because this does have more of a limited edition cover, and this one is in really great shape for being a thrift store find. So really cool find. This is about this basically these people, or these kids that middle school kids that find this school like in an alternate dimension, I guess. I can't remember exactly. But they end up getting like sucked there or trapped there somehow, and they're trying to make their way back to their normal school. So it's okay. It's just, it wasn't as good as I was hoping it was going to be. So R.L. Stine, Just Beyond #1, The Scare School. I was super excited when I saw this one because it's a graphic novel that I have always wanted to read. Now, this is only part 1 of the 2-part series, so I do need to find the second one, but this is Mouse Volume 1, and this is written by Art Spiegelman. Yeah, right up there. And so this, of course, is one of the more infamous graphic novels of all time. It's often on like some of the, 25 books you should read before you die lists or things like that. It is a very well-known and renowned graphic novel. So basically, it uses mice or rats, whatever these are, rats, I guess, as a like allegory or metaphor for how the Nazis were treated, or how Jewish people were treated by the Nazis. And so, yeah, it's supposed to be just amazing. You can see it's in black and white here. Cannot wait to finally read this. I don't know how I've missed out on it all these years, but I have. And so now it's in the collection. I am very excited for it. Art Spiegelman's Mouse Volume 1. They're obviously mice and not rats because it's called Mouse. I'm dumb sometimes. This next one is a graphic novel, but it's actually nonfiction, and it's very interesting. This is Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art, written by Scott McCloud. So I've actually read this one in the past, and while it wasn't really for me, because this is aimed at someone who is serious about, getting into either comic book criticism or drawing it themselves, because it's kind of like the theory behind why things are done in the panels and whatnot, on the page itself, things like that, which was interesting, but it was a little bit slow for me. I wasn't really into it. Like, I love reading comics, but I didn't need to know, like, some of the things that were talked about here. It just got a little boring for me. So while I didn't love this one, I think finding this for 50 cents, I absolutely want it in my collection, because maybe it's something I want to, revisit again in the future. It's just a cool find, a cool thing for the collection. So I ended up picking it up. If anyone's read this, let me know what your thoughts were on it, because I know this is kind of, almost like the Bible for some people when it comes to, graphic novels and comics. So maybe like I said, it just wasn't for me. It's a great book, tons of great research or information, just not exactly something I was looking for. So either way, I did pick it up because it was so cheap. Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art, written by Scott McCloud. So that's the last book in this haul. So now let's jump over to all the DVDs I picked up. The first one here has a really cool cast, so I didn't want to pass it up. This is another very recent find, but this is Rising Sun from 1993. You have Wesley Snipes and Sean Connery. Like, what an awesome duo here. But apparently this is based on a Michael Crichton novel, which I had no idea. I've never heard of it. I don't know if it's the same title or not. I don't know. But yeah, so it sounds really interesting. It is basically it sounds like a murder mystery of sorts, but it's done in a thriller style, and so should be pretty interesting. Has an awesome cast. Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes in Rising Sun, and this one is directed by Philip Kaufman from 1993. I was so excited to find this next one because this is a movie that I vividly remember being at my grandma's house, which is where I live now, and it was on TV. I thought it was so weird. I had no idea what it was, but I just remembered Steve Martin talking to a billboard, or not a billboard, like an electronic billboard, I guess. And I never knew what it was until recently, and so I was able to find it now. This is LA Story, and this one was from 1991. And so, like, I don't remember exactly, but Steve Martin kind of develops this relationship with like this, what is it here? An electronic freeway sign. It gives him advice that leads him into a frivolous romance with a young and beautiful blonde, and then eventually into true love. And so I don't know why I remember this one so vividly, but I never watched the entire thing, and I've always wanted to see it from, since then. And so I now have it in the collection. I was very happy to find this one, especially for the price. So LA Story from 1991 with Steve Martin. This 1989 film was actually directed by Eddie Murphy and starring Eddie Murphy along with Richard Pryor. This is Harlem Nights. So this is one I don't know anything about, but it has a great cast, and the fact that Eddie Murphy directs it, I'm very intrigued to check it out. So yeah, apparently they're a nightclub owner who's trying to keep the mob away, essentially, and the corrupt police. And so I don't know, sounds interesting, but mostly I got it because of the cast and who directed it. So very intrigued to check this one out. Harlem Nights from 1989, directed by Eddie Murphy himself. Here is a super popular movie that is definitely available on Blu-ray, like some of the other ones I've talked about. But for 50 cents, I was able to grab it on DVD. This is Urban Cowboy with John Travolta. So this apparently is just like a look at Travolta trying to win the love of his life, essentially. And so it sounds, like a good one that I've always heard good things about, but I've just never seen it before. So has an awesome soundtrack from everything I read about it. So very intrigued to check this one out finally. Urban Cowboy from 1980. So we'll see if this one's any good or not. Here's one with the slipcover on it, and it's actually a pretty good slipcover. Pretty nice one. It does have the sticker, which I could probably get off if I really wanted to, but we'll probably just leave it on at this point. Anyway, this is The Queen with Helen Mirren, who I actually just talked about in a recent video, Book versus Movie Episode 3, because she was in Hitchcock, and she is just a fantastic actress. And so this one I am very excited to see. You can see it is, she did win the Best Actress from 2006, and so I'm sure she's phenomenal in this. Cannot wait to check out The Queen from 2006, I'm guessing. This next one is one that I watched on VHS over and over again. I remember my mom bought the VHS from Blockbuster way back when, and so I watched it that way. But a good example of one I don't need to own on Blu-ray. The DVD is totally fine. This is There's Something About Mary, and this is the special edition, which is pretty cool. But this, of course, is Ben Stiller and Cameron Diaz. Ben Stiller was like this, ultra nerdy guy in high school, but he's still in love with his high school crush, and so things develop from there. But just a dumb comedy, but it's done pretty well. I really love Ben Stiller and Cameron Diaz together, so it's enjoyable. So happy to find this one for the price I was able to find it. So There's Something About Mary, a really good ad for the comedy collection. So the only thing I know about this next movie is that it has an incredible song from Eminem, who I am a huge fan of, but it's the title of this one. This is Cinderella Man. And so, you have the Eminem song, which is fantastic, but you have Russell Crowe in this along with Renee Zellweger. I've heard really good things about this ever since it came out, and it has the slipcover on it, which is really cool. Yeah, so should be a really good one. This is another boxing movie, so two videos this month with boxing films in them, and I actually just picked up another one from Disc Replay the other day. But anyway, should be a great movie. Awesome cast on this, and just a great soundtrack, at least from what I've heard. So very excited to check out Cinderella Man. This was a totally random grab, but I remember when I worked at Family Video that all these movies were coming out. This is a Jess Stone movie. This is Thin Ice. Now, this all-star Tom Selleck as Jess Stone, but I don't have any idea what number film this is because there are a bunch in this series. And frankly, I don't know if this is based on a book series or what, but whatever, it is what it is. They're all going to be like, they're probably going to feel like made for TV Lifetime movies, but that's all right. I figured I would watch one and give it a shot, see if it's any good or not. The only thing with this one is it does have the, remainder mark through there. So clearly this was like a review copy or something like that because they scratched out or, cut out the UPC, but totally fine. Don't care at all. I just wanted to point it out. Anyway, Jess Stone, Thin Ice with Tom Selleck. Gotta love Tom Selleck. Here's one from 2004. This is with Nicole Kidman and Sean Penn, and it's actually a Sidney Pollack film, which I didn't realize, but this is The Interpreter, and this is like kind of a international thriller is kind of what I call it. I believe Nicole Kidman's character, plays an interpreter for like the UN or something like that, and she hears something she's not supposed to, and things escalate from there. So should be pretty good. Sidney Pollack directs, so I'm guessing it's going to be a good film. Very intrigued to check this one out. It's one that I've always heard about but never sat down and watched, so we'll see. The Interpreter from 2004. You gotta love Leonardo DiCaprio, and this is one I've heard great things about. This is Blood Diamond. So this is what you can see here, 5 Academy Award nominations, which is pretty impressive. And it's directed by Edward Zwick, who I feel like that name is super familiar, but I can't place why I know him right now off the top of my head. But either way, this one should be pretty good. I'm gonna see if there's a year on this. It's actually pretty long at 143 minutes, but this is from 2006. So Blood Diamond, of course, is in reference to I believe at least, it's like very rare diamond that they're trying to chase down because it's worth just a ton of money. And so I believe that's what we're following with this one. But another one I've heard really good things about, so I'm sure it'll be pretty enjoyable. Blood Diamond from 2006, excuse me. This next one, I was really thrilled to find it in widescreen because I always find it, but it's in full screen. So finally, I was able to find the widescreen edition of The Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. So this one is based on a true story of this salesman who takes this unpaid internship and eventually he's trying to care for his 5-year-old son. They end up getting evicted because he doesn't have a salary, and so he's just trying to make a good life for his family. And so sounds very good. It's supposed to be very moving, and Will Smith is probably excellent in it because he's just a fantastic actor. So very happy that I was finally able to add The Pursuit of Happiness to the collection. Next up is one that I am very intrigued to check out because I know so little about this, but this is from 2009. This is Frost Nixon. So we have Frank Langella and Michael Sheen playing the titular characters here. And this is, again, based on the true story of when Richard Nixon, who I believe it was after he just left office, he agreed to do the interview with Frost, and, it was just kind of one of those big moments in American history. And so this is the film version of that. So sounds really good. It's, you can see on the top there, I didn't even realize it was nominated for Best Picture. So hopefully this will be a pretty good one. So yeah, very intrigued to check out Frost Nixon from 2009. This next one is one that I've been wanting to add to my collection for quite some time, but I was never able to find it on Blu-ray, and so I decided to just settle for the DVD. This is The Perks of Being a Wallflower with Emma Watson in it, so that's one of the main reasons I was interested. But this is based on the very popular book by Stephen Chbosky, who also wrote the screenplay for this and directed it. So yeah, very intrigued. I've heard wonderful things about this. Frankly, I may be visiting this for the first time a little bit too late in life, but we'll see if it still has an impact or not. Very happy to find The Perks of Being a Wallflower. I love double packs, especially when they're animated movies. This is a DC Comics Supervillains double pack. We have Batman and Superman here. So with Batman, we're talking about Killer Croc, and then we have Bizarro with Superman. So I was trying to see a runtime on this, and I don't see it. 65 minutes and 59 minutes. So I guess these are technically full length. They're just a little bit shorter. But yeah, very happy that I was able to find this, and it was actually in good shape. Usually, and it comes on 2 discs, which is cool too, because usually when you find, kids movies at the dollar or at the thrift store, they are just destroyed. So very happy that this one was actually usable. So the DC Supervillains double feature of Batman and Superman, Killer Croc, and Bizarro. Next up is a family film that I've never seen before, and it's actually from the director of Spy Kids. This is The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. And so this is just going to be kind of a fantasy sci-fi family movie, which I am really excited to check out. This is one, yes, I really would have liked to have found this on Blu-ray, but for the price, I'll go with the DVD. I think I saw when I was at Disc Replay, after I'd already picked this one up, I think I saw a double pack with this and its sequel. Is there a sequel to this? I feel like there is. But so I might end up, getting the sequel down the line if I end up enjoying this one. But yeah, should be a fun family movie for the collection. Why not? The Adventures of Shark Boy and Lava Girl. And last but not least is basically the motorcycle equivalent of Fast and the Furious. This is Torque. And we have Martin Henderson, Ice Cube is in this. I don't recognize the other names there. But this came out in 2004, so the Fast and the Furious hype was at its peak. And which I guess I don't know if it's its peak, but it was popular then, it's popular again now, of course. But yeah, it just looks like a lot of fun. It is a motorcycle Fast and the Furious, so what's not to enjoy here? Should be pretty darn cool. This one is actually, I think it was on Blu-ray from Hamilton Books for like $5 if I'm not mistaken, but it is what it is. I don't think it's available anymore the last time I checked, and this was 50 cents, so of course I decided to go this route instead. But Torque, a Fast and the Furious ripoff maybe? I don't know. If you know more about it, let me know, but that's kind of what I think about when I see this movie, so we'll see if this one is any good or not. So Torque is the last one I ended up grabbing for this haul. All right, so there they are, all the DVDs at least that I grabbed, plus all the books here as well. So I think this was a pretty good thrift store haul. Obviously, I got these over multiple trips, but hey, I'm very happy about it. I am often at the thrift store. Oh, I'm dropping everything now. I'm often at the thrift store finding new things, and so those piles over there just keep stacking up. I do have a few more to go, which I'll get to soon. But if you guys did enjoy this video, please give it a like down below. That really does help me out. But that's going to do it for today, guys. So I just want to say thank you all so much for watching, and I want to encourage you to consume some media today. I'll catch you next time.